So after graduation and the whole party, my mom picked me up. I had all these prizes from just doing absolutely nothing. So now I'm gonna forget all those people that thought I was an idiot or a retard for being a very hyperactive, you know, dark humor. Everyone thought I was a weird freak or whatever. Now my mom wants me to look for a job. I didn't want to look for a job. This is days later. This is not the night right after. A few days later, because I slept in a lot because I was just drained from all that, and I was gonna move out and do my own life kind of thing because this was like the plan. I just wanted to get the hell out of there, but now I just want to get the hell out of here through death. So my mom stressed me the fuck out with that. She just wouldn't stop beating it in my head like, "Oh, you're gonna do this. You're gonna get a job. You're gonna make money and all this crap and living on your own." While she's just nagging at me about that, I'm like, just nod in my head, agree, just agree. Let's not start trouble. So we got our resumes done and we are driving around, putting them in jobs, and she's telling me, it's like, where you want to go, where you want to be hired, and where you want to work. And I'm just thinking, like, I don't want to work anywhere. I don't want to do anything. And then if I think it was just 20 minutes of interrogating and intimidation, she was just beating it into my fucking face about it. I finally snapped and I jumped out of the fucking moving van. I was like, you know what, mom? I'm just gonna fucking kill myself. And I jumped and I ran. I fucking ran for probably about an hour straight, trying to lose her, trying to find a place to hide. And eventually she found me and I kind of just started walking up the road and she was like, get in the van. I was like, no. And she says, get in the fucking van, Chase. And I said, no. And I think I kind of blacked out a little bit because I don't remember it exactly too much. What I remember is my mom was holding me down and police came and they brought me to the psych ward. I spent about 3 days in there at my first time. And my mom wanted me to keep me in there. And my grandma was helping me. She came and visit me, and she was saying like, cause my grandma knows exactly what I'm going through. She's not. She knew how my mom was, and she knows like, the situation, but she didn't know I was like this. So she brought me to her home, like, and my mom was telling everybody not to help me. My mom was saying, keep his ass in there. Don't let him out. And to make sure nobody was going to be on my side. She told my grandma, my aunts, my uncles, my fucking everybody to stay away from me, and I was gonna be there for a while. It just gave me so much more hatred for my mom because why the fuck would you do that? Why would making me be alone help? So my grandma didn't give a fuck. She was like, you know what, Angela, I'm gonna go see my grandson. He needs somebody. There's nobody there for him right now. And that's what she did. And she took me in for a couple of months. And there was so much fight between them two, and my grandma was like, I think she just said fuck it all about my mom, and my mom is a vengeful, bitter woman, so if she didn't get what she wanted, like it's like the end of the world apparently. So I got out of the hospital. I we tried to convince her to give me my clothes and like my belongings and stuff like that, and my mom didn't. She fucking didn't. She sold most of my stuff, like my paintball guns, my games, my game systems, and all my belongings, the stuff that is mine. Like I didn't care if she sold the stuff that she bought and she made or she got. She can have them. I mean, I'm not a materialistic person. If she wanted to do that, take the gifts back, by all means, go for it. But it was my stuff that I earned, that I worked hard for. She'd sold those and gave them away. And my clothes, she didn't give me back my clothes. My uncles that were close to my age gave me clothes, and my cousins gave me clothes. And they weren't my style. They were all like, I don't know. Let's call it hip hop style, like loose pants, baggy shirts, and the colors that I would never see myself wear. So, and I felt really bad because my grandma like kind of saved money for me to get me like clothes. My aunts and family members were so pissed at her because she was being a horrible person, and I said to everyone, just leave her be. I don't care anymore. Like that's it. That's all. It's just whatever. So now I feel alone and I feel like shit. I have nothing. I literally have nothing. I am starting from square one with like belongings, a home, and everything else. I'm just kind of mooching off my grandma and I feel really bad. I didn't really eat too much there because I didn't want to, take her food and stuff like that. Like I felt really bad. So I think the time I was there, I was pretty thin. I was probably like 5 foot 7, 8, weighing to like 150. Like I felt, I looked small. Had thin arms. Like I had a body build, but I was small. And I decided to try to go back to school for upgrades because I'm trying to figure out how to go or where to start with my life, and I think maybe getting upgrades and trying to better my education because I didn't put effort then, so I'm like maybe I should have put effort now. So I went to go back doing grade 12 like B. It's like I did grade 12. Now I'm doing half of it again, but with more effort, and instead for spending like I think it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. So instead of doing 8 hours of school, I'm doing four, but it's crammed. You don't get really breaks. It's just your 5 periods crammed into 4 hours, but you do little work. It's just upgrading. And I think I was just so fucking alone and hurt, and I gave up and I lost a lot of stuff. I always went on I was going on the computer because I wanted to, I went on chat sites like Chat Hour or just like random chat sites just to distract myself and maybe talk to people, meet friends, and uh, help people that are going through the same crap that I'm going through. And I did that for maybe 3 months. I talked to these broken people, comfort them, help them, and met a few friends, and I learned a lot about myself through them. And I think there was one girl that was, you know, just had it hard and rough, and I really saw like the good in her, and we talked for a while, and I think I fell for her, and she fell for me. So every day we talked to each other, and we just, I have the realization she lives all the way in the US somewhere, and I live in Canada, and we're not going to see each other, and it hurts. And I didn't want to come to that realization. I didn't want to believe any of that. So I told her that I have to go and I don't know what I'm going to do. I just don't want to hurt her and I don't want to hurt myself at this point. And it was so hard because I think it's like one of the times where rarely I feel love. And I had to tell her that I have to go. And I know it must have hurt her a lot because during the time I would like check my messages and she would spam me and I can't reply. And eventually I just deleted my account. It was definitely one of the girls I first fell in love with. But I had to protect myself because I know in reality I'm not going to see her. She was definitely somebody different. So going back to high school, finished up my upgrading, and I met this girl who was 14 years old. And I'm 17, turning 18 in the following year. But this girl was like taller than me, and she was, she looked older. Not that I'm a creep or anything. And I guess she took an interest in me as much as I took an interest in her. We're gonna call her Jay. So Jay and I talked quite a bit. We talked about our issues and our problems. And I fell for her. Not because I didn't want to be alone, but I felt for her. And I wanted to be part of her life. And most of my exes cheated on me and, peer pressured me on a lot of things, and I didn't want to do any of those things. But this girl was different. She didn't peer pressure me. She didn't. We just talked, and we were like really good friends. And she definitely had an impact on my life. We were together for a rocky 6 months. I turned 18, she turned 15. And in ways we kind of hit our relationship because her parents weren't going to like me, but I didn't see anything wrong with it. Because, Canada's laws are different around the world. Like, 18 is considered an adult, but it's also considered, what's the word? It started with a C. But anyway, you're in Canada, you're allowed to be with a girl that's 5 years difference, but you can't sleep with her until she's 16. But in other places in the US, it's 18. I forget what the word is, but you know what I mean. Consent, was it? Consent. I have no idea. So we've been together for half a year, and I will be completely honest. This is what this video is about. I didn't sleep with her. I was I was kind of more scared to anyway, but I did kiss her. We did cuddle a lot, and most times I just went down on her, like to be put honestly and put it out there. But I've only done that to her when we like way later down the relationship. And I told her that I'm not ready to give myself to her like that, like sex wise. And she felt the same way because we were both broken. And then her parents found out that she was dating an 18-year-old and she's only 15. And they didn't, it's not that they called the cops or anything. It's more like they trying to scare me away because I look like a bad guy. You know, I had the long hair, spikes and chains. I had the ripped jeans and, band shirts. I just looked like, bad news, a troublemaker. And she was kind of like casual or a little goody goody. Eventually we broke up and my whole world crumbled. I think that's when I started slicing my wrists, and I was alone, and it changed me because I did love her, and my friends stayed away from me because I became somebody that I wasn't. I became almost a monster because I told everyone off. I was physical with them. I would punch them, punch things, and then I had my arms full of cuts and bandages, and I would cut my face because I hate what I saw, or I just did so much destruction stuff to myself. And I gave up again, and I think I ended up back in that psychiatric part of the hospital, but a little longer. I spent those days in there thinking, what am I gonna do? I got out on my own. I got my own place. I kind of shut everybody out for maybe an entire year. I didn't celebrate anything with anyone. No birthday, no Thanksgiving, no Christmas, no Halloween for a whole year. But throughout that year, I tried to talk to Jay and be with her and try to work things out. And I talked to her parents. Like, I literally walked to the door and I gave everything I had. I took my heart and I put it on a platter and I gave it to them. And they accepted me and they took care of me and they seemed to like me. But when I got home, I was getting messages from a friend saying that, she kind of cheated on me. Like, she was kissing these other people and she was smoking weed with other people and drinking. And basically, I don't know if it was ways to cope with her situation because I wasn't around, or she didn't have those feelings for me, but I don't know. I kind of just put that past me because I was focused on having love for her. So I swallowed my pride and I swallowed all that and decided to forgive her, but I can't forget it. So I started to try to open up a little bit more, and my brother was having a hard time, so I told him he can move in with me. I was alone anyway. I mean, it was alone for like a fucking year, like literally, and you know, I took him in, and things kind of got a little happier, a little brighter around my cloudy home, and again, most of those things just fell apart because nothing stays good or happy for me very long. And I guess I'll finish it into the next part of the video. Thanks for watching.